folks, give me a minute to get set up here. I'm on the back end of a cold. Early in the week, I was feeling a little crappy, but I'm here. I'm still coughing. Okay, who's in the room and location? 907. Going to the emails. And as you enter the room, just I appreciate that thumbs up. And I hope I can get through this, man. This cold was kicking my butt during the week. If you guys can bear with me coughing through this thing, appreciate it. All right, looks like I got it stabilized. We are, well, I am just sending out some emails and then we will get started. So again, this is another week. Welcome to Military Test Prep and Federal Aviation Administration Test Prep. if you are preparing for a military aptitude test, be it the ASVAB SIFT for the U.S. Army, the ASTBE or OAR for the United States Navy, Marine Corps, or Coast Guard, or the AFOQT for the Officer Corps in the United States Army or the United States Air Force, this is the channel you want to be connected to. I appreciate you guys for clicking on the play button and joining me here tonight. So if this is your first time here, basically the best way to get the most out of this is you have your test prep book, be it military test prep book, your ASVAB, the tests that I mentioned, or the Federal Aviation Administration testing, private pilot, instrument pilot, commercial pilot, airline transport pilot, instructor, initial, instrument, multi-engine, aviation ground, instructor, basic, advanced, instrument. All the FAA stuff, I've achieved all of the ratings. So there's not a subject that you could touch that I don't know about. I've taken all the tests. So I would be a, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess I am an expert. Been around airplanes for a very long time. And, I've been preparing people for the, military aptitude tests for about 10 years or so. Over that, but 10's a nice even number everybody can work with. How's the audio sound, guys? I always want to make sure that that's good. I'm thinking it seems like every time I'm doing a live stream, it's like I'll connect and then it'll kind of pause and it'll be reconnecting. Then I stop it and then I reconnect it and then it just seems to stabilize and be fine. So I guess that's the process, if you would. So come on, guys, fire those questions off. And please like or dislike even. It's up to you. If you're in the room, just click on that like or dislike button and we'll get started here. Let's see. I see Ileana. Thanks for coming out, Ileana. I see Maria. If you're in the room, please type the test that you're preparing for and the location that you are in. And I'm not crazy. There's another screen here. If you see me looking off camera, actually there's two additional screens. All right, OAR, Officer Aptitude Rating. Okay, we got some questions coming in. Happy to see that. And I'm looking for something interesting. Okay. This is a good one. For a lot of the tests, you are going to have to be very, very, well, it's actually a physics question when we talk about distance, rate, and time. And the question reads as follows. Two trains running in the same direction on the same track. And train A would be running at 40 miles an hour, and the other one will be running at 45 miles an hour. If the slower train starts out an hour earlier, how long will it take the faster train to catch up with it? Now, it's all about your setup. how you set these questions up. That's going to help you arrive at the right answer. So, make sure I'm not dragging cords. Y'all know how I do. Okay, so 2 trains on the same track. And I diagram everything. So we have train A. I'm just going to repeat the A. And we have train B. Excuse me. Train A goes at 40 miles an hour. Train B goes at 45 miles per hour. Now, we're always operating under the formula distance equals rate times time. Okay, so the distance, when we think about it, when train B catches train A, they will have traveled the same distance. So we're going to operate with a rate time system. So it's going to be rate times time equals rate times time. And then there's going to be some type of adjustment because train A leaves an hour earlier. So the slower train's going to go on the right. Now, we don't know how much time, so that is our unknown. So for train A, speed is 40 times time. And we're going to say t plus 1. All right. So it's going to be 40, which is rate times time. 40 times time, we're going to add plus 1 because it's going to have an hour head start. Train B is going to run at 45 times time. All right. So these two formulas are going to equal each other. And what we have to do is just set up our formula. So you can DVR this because I'm about to erase it because I'm running out of real estate. But basically what's going to happen is we're going to say 45t is equal to 40 times t plus 1. All right. And if anybody has questions about that, why I set it up like that, speak now or forever hold your peace. I will wait. Pause for a second. And for our answers while I'm waiting for that is 5, 6, 7, and 8 hours. So here's our answers. 5, 6, 7, and 8 hours. Okay, I don't see any body like asking, why'd you set it up like that? Now, both of these are going to equate to a distance, but you don't have to worry about that. The only thing that we have to watch is 40 must be distributed into the parentheses. So our next line is going to be, just watch my cord, 45t equals 40t plus 40. 40 is going to jump the equal sign. We say subtract it for both sides, but I always say jump in the equal sign and changing its sign. So 45t minus 40t is going to be 5t equals 40. And we divide 5 on both sides, and t equals 8 hours. So our answer is D. And if you guys understand that in the room, just type clear, and I will pause and wait. Hey, Avery. Chino, you don't frequent the room. Welcome. Come on, let's get some more clears in there. If you guys understand it, if you don't, I will recap. Well, I'll recap anyway. So the question states, you have 2 trains operating on the same track. the slower train leaves an hour earlier than the faster train. And the question is, how long will it take the faster train to catch the slower train? 5, 6, 7, or 8 hours. So initially we set up our formula. 45t, which is the faster train, equals 40 times the sum of t plus 1. We add plus 1 here because this guy gets an hour head start. We distribute the 40 into the parentheses, so 40 times t is 40t, 40 times 1 is 40. Okay, 40 is subtracted from both sides, and 45t minus 40t equals 5t. 5t equals 40 at this point. Divide 5 on both sides, t equals 8 hours. Okay, and I haven't really seen any objections there, so I'm assuming that everybody understood the question. Okay, checking another interesting one. Okay. And in the interest of time, I'm just going to go ahead and jump in and just go right to the next one. Okay, the next question. Assume that a musical instrument depreciates by 20% of its value each year. What would be the value of a piano purchased for $2,400 after 2 years? All right. Our answers are, and as we read this, you have to get in with word problems, you have to get in the habit of diagramming stuff. But I'm just putting our answers down. 1350, 1536, 1692, 824, and $2,004. So A, B, C, D, E. So assume that a musical instrument depreciates 20% of its value each year. What will be the value of the piano purchased at $2,400 after 2 years? This is not too bad. To rapidly execute this question, I'm going to look at the initial price, $2,400. If I want to know the value, 10% of anything, I'll move the decimal left 1. So that is 10%, $240. So 480, because 240 again, that's 480, represents 20%. Move the decimal over, we have 10%. We double it, that tells us what 20% of this is. Now, 2400, for rapid math, I'm not going to subtract 480. I'm going to subtract 500. I'm going to get 1900. And then I'm going to add 20. So that puts us at 1920. And just for rapidly, because you're under time constraints. So you could just go through here and, oh, that's not enough, and take away that and everything. Or you could deduct 500 and then add 20. So when we deduct 500, we get to 1900, and then we add 20, 1920. Now we're at 1920, and we have to deduct another 20%. The decimal point is here. Move it over here. 192 and 192. Now we have to take 20% because the value went from 2,400 to 1,900. Now another 20% of its value at this point. 384. 1920 minus 384. Already what I can see is that there is a 6 in my answer, because 10 minus 4 is 6. Bang. I don't even have to work the whole thing out, and I can move on to the next question. So that's what I try to teach you guys. All right. When you have X amount of time to solve so many math questions, okay, I'll get to that in a minute. All right. So when you have not so much time to solve so many questions, a lot of times you don't have to work the answer out all the way through. 1920 minus 384, 10 minus 4 is 6. There's only one answer with a 6 on the end. So I can immediately zoom there and move forward. Okay. We have a question that's been presented to the room. And type clear, guys, if you guys got that. Let me just see 3 clears, and I'll move forward. Don't be shy. Type clear if you understand it. If you didn't understand it, say, I don't understand. IDU, that is a nice little abbreviation you guys can use when you guys don't understand something. IDU, I don't understand. All right. Julia, welcome to the room. Nice to see new people. Julia, what test are you preparing for? And where are you located? And forgive me tonight, I got a little cold going on. I'm on the back end of it. You can type that in. Chino presented a question. From 19... All right. Aloha. All right. Let's see here. From 1980 through 1990, that's 10 years, the population of country X increased by 100%. From 1990 to 2000, it increased by 50. What was the combined increase of the period? So what I would do is, when I see questions like this, okay, so what was the increase? You got 150, 1,662 over 3, 175%, and then 200%. You didn't put a percent behind the 150. That's what I'm kind of leaning towards. But what I always do, so I don't get caught with my pants down. I'm sorry. Excuse my French. But I'll make up a number, 100. All right. And from 1980 to 1990, we had a 100% increase. And then from 1990 to 2000, there was a 50% increase. Now, you might allow yourself to get sucker punched and go with 150%, but that may not necessarily be it. So let's take a look. We have 100 people. So if we increase 100% between 1980 and 1990, then we have 200 people. All right, because that's 100% of 100. All right, and then 50% between 1990 would be half of that, would be another 100. So then we would have 300 people in the population. All right, I use 100 because it is a very good number to work with. And, if there are percentages, you will see the percentage come out. So going from 100 to 300 is a 200% increase. Yeah, that's a 200% increase. So to recap, the question says from 1980 through 1990, the population of country X increased by 100%. From 1990 to 2000, the population increased by 50%. What was the combined increase from the period from 1980 to 2000? Should be another 0 there, but you guys understand that. Okay. So I use the number 100 and I work it to see if it comes out. So you take 100. What is 100% increase? Adding 100. So we're at 200. And then what is a 50% increase from 1990 to 2000. Half of 200 is 100. We add that to 200, we get 300. So that is literally a 200% increase, because we have 100 and then we have two more 100% to get us to 300%. And type in clear if you guys understand that after the recap. So 150 is not it. I know a lot of people will fall into that trap 150, and you have to be careful, because on these tests they're gonna have that sucker punch answer. That's what I call it, a sucker punch. You know, you say, okay, 150. Use the number 100. Use the number 10 if you have to, whatever. But use a nice plain number that you can work with so you can test it out. And then you can see your results. And also, don't do it in your head. Have scrap paper. Put it out on paper, because if there are any mistakes, you will readily see them. Okay, we got a whole lot of clears in there. Very good, very good, very good. Okay. All right. Back to the email. Going to the next one. And again, just for the new people that are new to the room, I'm here every week, 9 to 10. And then if you're already a client of mine, I do a private Google Hangout from 10 to 11. But it's not live stream like this. Is actually a video chat. So we're all in the room and we can talk to each other and we can solve problems like that. I prepare for every military aptitude test. ASVAB, SIFT, AFOQT, OAR, ASTBE, and all the Federal Aviation Administration tests. All of them. I've taken them all. As far as the fixed wing side, private pilot, instrument pilot, commercial pilot, airline transport pilot, instructor, initial, instrument, multi, and the aviation ground school certificates. So, welcome. I welcome you new guys, and I appreciate you guys clicking on the Live Now icon. Okay. Jersey, in New Jersey, it is 9:36 right now. Okay. What time is it in Hawaii, Julia? Okay, Julia, you'll let me know what time it is there, and we will... What time is it there? Computer froze. Yeah, I was just asking what time was it there in Hawaii. You asked what time it was here in New Jersey. It's 9:36. Excuse me. Ooh. Man, sun's still out over there. Okay, it's dark here. All right. Next question. And Julia, I appreciate you stopping by. Okay, the next question. The cost of 4 rolls, 3 muffins, and 3 loaves of bread is $9.10. The cost of 2 rolls, 3 muffins, and a loaf of bread is $3.90. What is the cost of a loaf of bread? Again, the cost of 4 rolls, 6 muffins, and 3 loaves of bread is $9.10. The cost of 2 rolls, 3 muffins, and a loaf of bread is $3.90. What is the cost of a loaf of bread? Now, again, with the word problems, line by line, that's how we solve them. Line by line and diagram. All right, so we have 4 R for rolls, 6 muffins, 3 loaves, $9.10. And then we have 2 rolls, 3 muffins, and we have a loaf of bread, 1 L. and that is $3.90. So let's take a look. What I'm going to do is I'm going to treat this like a system of equation. Okay, so what I have here is basically, I could call this equation 1 up top and equation 2 on the bottom. Let's give it a label, E1 and E2. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply equation 2 by -2. All right, so that will give me, that transforms this to -4R, -6M, and -2 loaves. And 390 would be, it's $4 if you round up. You double $4 is $8, and then take away 20 cents, and that'd be $7.80. $7.80. All right, and it'll be negative as well. Now, the thing that I'm going to do is I am going to do something, and I'm not sure if that is the proper phrase, but adding downward, which means the 4R and the -4R cancel out. The 6M and the -6 muffins cancel out. 0 muffins. And then the 3 and the -2 is just 1L. And the 9 and the 780, so 910 minus 780. All right, 9, 10, 7, 80, 8, 1, 11, 3. $1.30, and that is answer E. The answers were $1.05, $1.10, $1.20, $1.25, and $1.30. So the numbers were crunched pretty close together in the answer. So 1L is equal to 9 minus 780. 1 loaf is equal to $1.30. System of equations take a while to get, but with my people, my clients that work with me on a regular basis, they understand my process. Let's see. Do you think if I do better in all 3 sections of the ASVAB, I would have passed the 4th section with the 3 high scores? I'm not really sure. Do you think if I pass do better in all 3 sections from the ASVAB, all 3 sections, I'll be able to replace the 4th section? You can't say all 3 and then the 4th, Chino. I'd like to, what I'll do is, I think you emailed me, and I will, if not, if that wasn't you're not the person that emailed me, because I think you did email me. That name sounds familiar. Just email me specifically your question. ID the sections, okay, by, oh, the AFQT. Here's my thing. I don't really, I have a very well-rounded approach to approaching these tests. My goal is not to, okay, well, we're going to do 3. We're going to do great on these 3 sections. I have a well-rounded approach where you excel at all the sections of the test so you can be competitive and get the job that you want. So my focus is just killing all the sections. So, I mean, that's really not my philosophy. Well, I'm going to do good on these ones, and, maybe I'll do okay on this one. I believe in just killing all of them. Caroline, not really, no. Well, actually, there is another way of doing the problem. But it would probably be very time-consuming. Like I said, your answers were $1.05, $1.10, $1.20, $1.25, and $1.30, which was our answer. The system of equations elimination method is the best way to do it. It's the quickest way. Otherwise, you would just be plugging in, well, let me try 105 to see if it works. Or let me try 110 to see if it works. Or let me try $1.20 to see if it works, plugging it in here. But you don't know what these variables are. So now that I think about it, if there was just two, like maybe rolls muffins or muffins and loaves, then maybe it might be possible to plug those answers. But with three, there's too many variables. So next time we meet, Caroline, we will work on the system of equations. But they're really not as bad as that looks. Ask Avery and Maria. Because I did a real nice workup with them on system of equations. Yeah, you'll be fine. Anything that's like, if you tutor with me, anything that's like a weak area, I find it and I beat the hell out of it, and then it just you'll be good at it, at whatever the problem is. Oh, I don't long division or decimals or system of equations or mixture problems and stuff like that. At first, it looks like Chinese, but then, yeah, mechanical comprehension even. I'm very, very effective at the mechanical comprehension because there's a physics side to it, and I spoon feed it to you. And I did a lesson with shout out to Tyler yesterday. He did his first section on physics, and he was like, "Wow, he hadn't done it in a long time, but I make it very, very nice and easy. I don't just come at you with boom." And I mean, at the end of the first lesson, he was remembering the few formulas that I taught him. So it's not bad. It's just practice. That's all it is practice. I always say, how do you walk through your house in the middle of the night? You've walked through your house so many times, you know where that nightstand is or that couch is, and you know not to walk into it. So practice makes perfect. Okay. Grab the mouse, check the email. Okay, we had a little interruption there. The best way to, when the connection got lost, I got distracted, but, excuse me. The best way to, never mind, I'll remember it in a minute. When I lost the connection for a couple seconds, it threw me off. Okay. This is a nice question. I'll put the answers up, and 141 226 300 451 and 846. Yeah, you guys sent me a doozy on this one. All right. If an aircraft travels at 564 miles per hour, how far did the aircraft fly in 900 seconds? Wow. Okay. So we have an airplane. And rule number 1, do not laugh at my artwork. All right, so here's our airplane. It is flying at 564 miles per hour. So they're asking, how far did this aircraft fly in 900 seconds? So we have 141 miles, 226 miles, 300 miles, 451, and 846 miles. Now, if I'm moving at 564 miles per hour, all right, what we need to look at is what this translates to in miles per minute and in miles per second. You could do it that way. Or we could do a conversion. All right, and haven't really practiced that in a long time. So I don't want to do it and make my trolls happy and not arrive at the right answer. But I think I might take a stab at it. But let me just look at this for a minute. If I travel 564 miles in an hour, before we even do that, let's explore 900 seconds. All right. 900, how many, they want to know how far does it go 900 seconds. Let's explore 900 seconds. There are 60 seconds in a minute. There are 3,600 seconds in an hour. Okay. And now I'm starting to develop a connection here, because if there's 300 seconds in an hour, then 900 represents 15 minutes, because 900 seconds times 4 equals 3,600 seconds, which is an hour. So 900 seconds is equal to 15 minutes. So if we take this 564 and divide by 4, then that will tell us how far we have traveled, how many miles we have traveled. So just roughly looking at it, if I divide this by 4, I'm thinking that A is the answer, just for rapid math testing purposes. This is what I'm just kind of thinking, because if I divide 564 by 4, 4 goes into 5 one time, I'm done. 1 is the leading number of my answer. I don't need to look at 226. I don't need to look at 300, 451, or 846. I can stop right there and move on to the next question. But I am going to finish this question. So we get a 4. 1 drops. 6 comes down. 4, 16, 0, 4, 1. Like I said, 141. So my method, figure out how you're going to get to your answer, and then find out what you have to do ultimately to arrive at the answer. 4 goes into 5 one time. Boom, I'm done. A is 141. It's a wrap. I'm done. I can move on to the next question. So these are, why did you divide by 564 by 4? I did that because I looked at, the question is asking, how far did this aircraft travel in 900 seconds? How many miles? All right. So if I'm moving at 564 miles per hour, all right, that means I'm moving this distance in 3,600 seconds. All right. If I'm moving 564 miles in an hour, which is equal to 3,600 seconds, then 900 seconds X miles, and I could even do a cross multiplication division situation where I could say I have 564 miles 1 hour, or 3,600 seconds, and then put 900 seconds on the bottom, and then cross multiply and then divide by that. But I know that 9 is 1/4 of 3,600 seconds, or an hour, which is 15 minutes basically. So as long as I divide 564 by 4, it will yield the number of miles traveled. And Julia, did you get that? Because you asked the question, why did I divide by 4? Excuse me. All right, outstanding. Did everybody else understand it? Let me get 2 more clears, please. All right, that was a pretty tough one. But line by line, that's how you handle it. Okay, this is what I call a compression distance, rate, and time question. This will be the last one as it is 9:55. And, excuse me. All right, at 12 noon, 2 vessels started sailing towards each other. So this is how I'm looking at it. At 12 noon, you got a vessel here and a vessel here. They started traveling towards each other, sailing. So these are boats sailing towards each other. The ports that they sail from are 450 miles apart. They travel at an average rates of 22 and 28 miles per hour, respectively. All right, so how many miles will these 2 vessels be apart at 8 p.m.? So 12 noon, they start sailing towards each other. At 8 p.m., how far are they going to be apart? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to establish a closure rate, and that is the combined speeds of the 2 craft. So 22 plus 28 is 50. And let's see, 50. So 50 times 8 is 400. They'll be 50 miles apart. Answer D. My answer selections are 125 miles, 100 miles, 75 miles, 50 miles, and 25 miles. So I established my closure rate. I know that they're going to be running towards each other at a elapsed time of 8 hours from noon to 8 p.m. So if 8 hours elapses, rate times time equals distance, which is 400. So we subtract 400 and they will be 50 miles apart at 8 p.m. Okay, so to recap, at 12 noon, 2 vessels started sailing towards each other from other ports that are from ports that are 400 from each other. Okay, from ports that are 450 miles apart. So I put a dot here, and I put 2 arrows to represent that the 2 craft are sailing towards each other. All right, the speeds are 22 miles an hour and 28 miles an hour. So what I did was I established a closure rate, which is the rate that they are closing in on each other, which is 50 miles per hour. This is 22 plus 28, the speed of that boat. So how far are they going to be apart? They start out 450 miles apart. I take the closure rate, multiply by time, I get 400 miles. Together they will have moved towards each other 400 miles. All right. And so there'd only be 50 miles left since the 2 ports were 50 miles apart. All right. And if you guys got that, please type clear. So basically, that's pretty much a wrap. If you guys are interested in the Google Hangout this evening and you're a client of mine, please shoot me an email and we'll get that going. Let's see. Looks like Avery, Caroline, Ileana was in here, but I don't see her now. But Ileana, shoot me a message to my email, KIENO Thomas@gmail.com. Okay, so the new people in the room, I really appreciate you guys being here. Tell people about me. Okay, if you're preparing for one of these tests, you definitely want to prepare. The ASVAB you want to be prepared for, but the ASVAB you can take a multiple amount of times. For the SIFT, OAR, AFOQT, I don't recommend that is something that you play with. Some of these tests you only get 2 or 3 times to take them in a lifetime. So you want to deal with somebody that knows what they're doing. All right. And I've had multiple discussions with people because the recruiters are telling them, oh, just take it. Just try it out. Let's see how you do. And to me, that is the worst thing that you could do. It's the worst thing that you can do. Because this is what we call a high stakes test. You only have 2-3 times taken your whole life. Why are you going to play with it? All right. And in my experience dealing with it's much harder the second and third time if you have a second or third time and stuff. So, I'm here every week, 9 o'clock Eastern to 10 o'clock. And, there's no reason why you shouldn't be better prepared for these tests. To get the most out of this, prep that we do here, get your test prep book, take pictures, prepare to send them to my email, and I'll address them, as time will allow. But more effectively is having a tutor that can focus on your weaknesses. They can kind of take you through some questions, see weaknesses, pinpoint them, and like I said, I beat the hell. You ask any of my guys, I beat the hell out of their weaknesses. Oh, I hate these type of problems. That's the last thing you should tell me, because I'm gonna go in like a shark. But it'll be to your benefit. So I have to prep for the Google Hangout for all you newcomers, Julia, Chino, and if I forgot your name, please forgive me. But I really appreciate you guys being here. Please click the like or dislike button. And I thank you guys for submitting the questions that you guys did submit tonight. A couple of them were pretty tough, and I like the tough ones. You said you do videos every day. No, I don't do videos every day. This live stream I do once a week. But I'll type my email in the message box if you should require one-on-one tutoring. If you do require one-on-one tutoring, Skype is the best way to get that done because it records. So that is my email, should you require one-on-one tutoring. But I believe I'm the best and the most passionate about this. I open myself up for you guys to drop questions on me every week. And I got a pretty good track record. I have a pretty good track record. So forgive me, I know I've been coughing a little bit and everything like that. Rough week. But I'll be back into my normal big mouth self next week. So send the emails if you're interested in the Google chat. That's for my clients. And I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys clicking on my live now button. This is Keno Thomas with STEMwithKeno.com. And have a great night and be safe out there. I'll talk to you later. I do my little finger thing to boop. There we go.